Hey guys, so the title of this video or whatever is going to be the three words that changed my life, or whatever, my career. So I wanted to share a story, and this story is actually something that I experienced. It's many years ago now. I think it's like 5 years ago, and basically when I was in the clothing business, I met this very or through Instagram, I met this very successful clothing entrepreneur, and they're pretty much a high eight-figure company. They've been doing this for 20 something years. Their clothing brand is carried in a ton of national retailers. So anyway, I had the opportunity to meet this guy in person, and I remember this was earlier on in our clothing business, and this was more of a mindset thing than it is anything. And basically, I was kind of confused, and clothing is a brutal business, and especially when you're trying to launch your own clothing brand or whatever. Anyway, I was kind of lost and I had no idea what I was doing. So I flew to LA all the way from Chicago to meet this guy, and it was to all fault of my own. I him and I, kind of kept complaining of like, oh well, the supplier or whatever, and I was like, how do you do this? How do you do that? And I was basically looking for someone else to solve my problems or come up with my solution for the problems that we're facing in our business. And basically, something that he said at first kind of pissed me off, but later I realized was the answer. So, every time I would tell him a problem, he would just keep saying, figure it out. I don't know, figure it out. And it was kind of really annoying, especially considering that I was kind of going to this person and trying to get him to answer my questions or whatever. And I was just like naive and thinking that someone else was going to solve my problems. So anyway, that guy kept saying that. And I left that meeting and I was kind of pissed off. I was like, what do you mean? And like, this guy seems like, whatever. And I was irritated in the moment. But later, what I realized was that was the answer all along. So I left that meeting, and within 12 months, our brand completely took off. Because I was just so sick of like expecting other people or other mentors to solve my problems. Where I really locked in for 12 months, went hard on our business, and eventually the business took off. We were doing, high five figures every single month during and this was during COVID. So that meeting was right before COVID. So it was actually a really inspiring and motivating meeting. And I would forever be thankful, to this person, this mentor that I met along the way, because that meeting enabled me to believe that the answers or the confusion or whatever, the answers are within. And it really helped me break out of the rut that we were facing in that business at that time, and kind of take the power back into your own hands. And that's what I wanted to share, is the figure it out, kind of like that approach to anything, is that you have the ability to figure it out, and all we have to do is lock in, and the answers are within.